Welcome back everyone to the Atomic Islands, where today we will be building an ice sculpture. It will be our tower, in fact, and I will be building it right in the iceberg that's up ahead. And I've chosen that one because it is just the right size, I believe, for what I'm trying to build, though I will be sculpting it into shape. So let us head over there and set off to work. Now, during the last episode when I said I was planning on doing an ice sculpture, I gave the impression that I would use this to represent hydrogen since, of course, hydrogen is a major component of water. And thinking, and of course this being ice, it's the same chemical as water is. And hopefully I don't get a bunch of polar bears invading this location, as I see a few down there. But in retrospect, I decided that I will use this for fluorine instead, because fluorine is often a component in fluorocarbons, which are used for various things in refrigerants and the like. I know a lot of those things are no longer in use because of atmospheric properties, but for a long time they were being used for such things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chip away on this. This is, in fact, one of the primary reasons I wanted a Silk Touch pick, was so that I could do this ice sculpture and be able to retain some of the ice just in case I click anything on there. So let's see. I'm going to make this 5 by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this looks like the starting location. So I want to chip away this. I figure we are going to have something to step up here. So we'll go up here, we'll go up here, and that will act as a ladder into the entrance of this place. So this could be the entrance. So the ground floor would be right here. Assuming I calculated things properly. And chipping away at the ice. And this is a very slippery surface, but I guess you expect that. Now this is all packed ice, which means that it's a spawnable location, if I understand packed ice properly, but you can put torches on it without melting, and I did do an experiment on that just to make sure I was remembering that properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all in good to know what the wiki says. It's even better if you know if it's right. Okay, there you go. And also I have some of this packed ice to do it. Now, the ice goes rather deep in here since it is an iceberg, of course. The ice continues underground, or I should say underwater is a more accurate term. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore we also want to do this because we want well, that's I'm treating this as the base of the tower right here. Yeah, that's the base of the tower, so let me see about that. Okay, that's the base. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore this is the mandatory part, and this is what I'll do is I'll have this as a surrounding layer. This is the base floor of the tower. And I want that to be sure that's done there. So he goes, ah, I wonder if I'm going to have a pick left after I do all this. Alright, good, good. Alright, so I have to increase some parts of it so we can get up properly. Just want to make sure, okay, this is here. Actually, this is the floor right here. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so now we know that's the floor level, so that's where we're going to be going up from. Actually, I'll do here. And we don't need this because I do want this tower itself to be standing out, even though at the ground level it will extend out a little bit, but above that level it'll be a true tower. There we have the initial tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it goes up for about just about how I want to go. I suspect I'll need about 12 blocks in order to do this. We will see there. But I might not need the full set that's up on top. I do have a little bit here that I'm going to fill up as I build up, but I could do that as I go along rather than having it the full blank in there at the beginning. I put up some torches to hopefully discourage mobs from spawning in the area, and this is all packed ice, so I won't be melting my iceberg. Let's put that there. Alright. Now, our entrance then will be right here. 3, and I think I go one more. Good. And we want to go one up from that, so it's going to be a 3x3 room, similar to what we did with the mushroom. Now, some of the towers are going to be larger than this, but when I have them out of weird materials, such as ice or mushrooms, then I'll be doing it this way. Now, I do have a map that I wish to make here. Hopefully this will be a decent map. This is... Well, at least it shows... At least it shows an icy area. That's good, but I'm right on the edge of it. I'll probably have to have a second map here. For the time being, actually, the first thing I want to do is to fill in the empty spot on the map, which will be up this way. That way everything will be nice and filled in. This place has a lot of kelp. Maybe I needed to find something to do with all this kelp. There you go. There, that's a nice complete set with all of it. If I think things are too small, I could always pull back on the scaling of the map and see if that helps, but that doesn't always help. Because sometimes you just have to be on the edge of an edge of an edge. So I'll probably just create a second map to extend the range on that. Alright, let's head on here. Here's the first room. Ooh. Now I do have an item frame where I'll be putting this. So for now I'll put this right here. And then we can see whether or not... Now, unfortunately, you won't really be able... I would say that they're showing off the entire ice area, the iceberg area, rather than the tower itself. And yes, we have a small clipping here of the Mushroom Island, but this is mostly icy stuff. It looks like we have some snowy peaks on top of there. So I think that'll be a suitable map for this area. Now, this of course is where we are going to have our ladders to go up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, in the other ones, I have it going up 2.5 and then a wooden slats for the floor. Here I'm using an icy floor, since the entire thing is that it's sculpted out of ice. And then I'll have 3 more up like that. So therefore, this is going to be slightly higher than the previous ones. But yeah, let's see. I want yes, just to go like this. This isn't being too much of a problem here. Yeah, so now I've started to hit the point where I need to add some blocks, and this is the reason why I wanted silk touch, so I could fill in these little gaps here. Oops. And let's so there, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a sunset. Now let's head up to the top. I cut a hole up here, and we are going to, now of course I will have to cover that up, but let's wait until I have this all out. Let's see, we want of course to have the oops. Yeah, slippery. Ice, slippery. Keep that in mind. Alright, we don't need that one, we don't need that one. We do need here and here, so we sort of have our little crenellations up on top. We won't be covering them up with a mushroom head this time, though I may put on something onto it. We'll see if I decide to throw something else on top of that, but for now, let's get our basic tower shape. And see how that looks. At least out of this, if I need ice for anything else, I am certainly going to have plenty of it. Plenty of packed ice at least. So I do have regular ice down in the water if I ever need that stuff for some other builds. Actually, the other ice might come in handy when I do the hydrogen, but because of course my plan is to go back to my original idea for hydrogen when I do that one, and my original plan for that was to do an aquarium. Here we go, all up here. Oops. Good. Now let's see. Alright, so I could see the mushroom tower from here, so I could see them from each other. Alright, that is most excellent. So now I could come up here. Bit slippery, but this is ice. That is part of the nature of ice. So if you want to experience ice, and there you go. Good. Now we need to also work on the basement. But before I do that, I want to pick up any dropped pack ice, and also pick up my bed, because this bed is of course earmarked for the second floor of this tower, because each tower is going to have a map on the first floor, okay. I was able to get a bed down there. Why can't I put one there? Well, interesting. Most interesting. Because I'm a total noob and you place it on the center block, not on the end block. All right. How long have I been playing Minecraft and not realized that? Now we need to head downstairs for the storage room. Not sure what we could store down here. I know ice. I mean, we'll certainly have plenty of that all around here. And then we could put this here. We could. Looks like I'm going a little bit beyond my mandate here. Actually, let's keep this at 9 by 9 just in case. There we go. We put this here. Actually, we need to go one more step. Now, theoretically, we could probably have a couple of sub-basements here, but I think I will pass on that. We've got a crafting table here and a couple chests. Now, even though Minecraft mechanics won't give me any grief for putting a furnace in here, or at least I don't think it would, I think I'll just avoid it. Just the idea of putting a furnace in some place that is refrigerated just doesn't sound quite right. There you go. There's our tower. Now let's head over to the mushroom tower and have a look at this from over there. It looks like a stone watchtower. That's what it looks like. Consistent with that. Okay, I'll need to add a door and a sign. And I'll have to get rid of that floating block that's up there because I seem to have left something up flying. But other than that, maybe I could sculpt the island around it because that looks a little square. See if I could round off the stonework below it a little bit so that it could look nicer than that. But other than that, I think it's looking fine so far. So let us take care of this, and we could see it increase in size as we get closer. Yeah, I would say that this corner of the island right here needs to, or the iceberg, this is obstructing the view, and I do want to have a good view. So I'm afraid you're going to have to go. I just have to be careful on this so that I don't. Here we go. So that. Yeah. We want to be careful. Okay, everything looks fine there. All right. Good. Okay, I want to take care of that. There are those ice blocks that I missed. All right, let's hit up here. Ah, it was even reachable. Good. Now, how about? I know. It seems like a strange. I guess these must actually be artificial torches, ones that are made to look like torches, but they actually give off some sort of cool glow or something like that, because real fiery torches wouldn't be good here. Now, if I had something like glowstone or redstone lamps or something like that, I could probably use those. That might be a good idea. But this would be a temporary solution, at least until I manage to get myself into the nether. Now let's chip away at this a little bit. And let's put this here. And let's have up that piece down to there. Alright. Oops. Well, at least it's not a big fall. So it didn't fall off of one of those, or that one right up there. That would have been a real nasty hit if that happened. Alright, I think that's a little bit better there. Let's plop a door right here so you can get in and out. And right here we will put our sign, which is going to read element 9, and the symbol is F, Florine, and our standard atomic weight is 18.998. There you go. 18.998. There we are. And that is Florine. Let's have one final look at this. Alright, I'm able to go over that little blockage now. Good. That looks a lot better. Let's have a look from over here. Good. And I think that'll do. And that's our little tower at the edge of the frozen biome. And the frozen biome then is our build. Now, of course, this is another cheaty one where this one is the build is naturally generated here. The build was naturally generated. But next time we are going to do our first build that isn't naturally generated, where we'll actually have to do some building. And that's going to be way over here. This little island is going to be dedicated to sodium. That's right, sodium, which is of course one of the two elements that's involved in sodium chloride, which is one of the more common types of salt. And the idea here is that this will become all white, which means I'm going to have to get something white to put on here. And I don't mean snow, because that would be too watery. But instead, I'm going to be putting down wool. I'm going to take off all this mycelium, and I am going to replace it with wool. Now you're saying, where in the world am I going to get enough wool to cover this all up? And that, of course, means I also need to build a spider farm. We've got this spider spawner that's down here. We are going to turn that into a spider farm and get ourselves a great amount of string, and that string we'll use to turn into wool, and that wool is going to try to make this look like a salt plain. And that's what we're going to try to do in our next episode here at the Atomic Islands.